Hello, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. And today we are doing a lovely, juicy reading on what do they want to say to you, the person on your mind. What do they want to say or wish that they could say? So we've got 3 piles here. Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. I will put the picture up for you and I will see you at your reading. Oh no, pile number 1. Okay, something's going on here. Something's going wrong. I just heard in my mind, Brittany, hush, just stop. There's nothing you can do or say. Stronger. Stronger by Britney Spears. I feel like there's more messages in that song for you, and you would know what they are. So yeah, I feel like this is a relationship that has gone wrong in some way. And I feel like it's ended, and I feel like this person is the one who ended it. Like maybe they made a decision, they sent you a message. So part of what this person wants to say is that they don't want a relationship and no, they don't want to talk about it. I feel like there are hard feelings here in this situation, but if this is your pile and if this is your situation, you would already know that. And Spirit's giving me the image of hot sauces. Spirit, I can sense that there's like so many different situations actually that are playing out here in this pile. And Spirit's giving me the example of like, this is an assortment of hot sauces. And each of you watching this, like you know the temperature in your own mouth. And so with that, I do just want to give this warning here, okay? Because for some of you, it's as simple as this person made a decision. They felt like it was their decision to make. And it's as simple as that. I'm hearing Randy from American Idol. Like, it's a no from me, dog. Like, it's not charged or anything. It's just, they feel like, especially if this was a professional relationship or something, this person just felt like it was their decision to make and it wasn't really working out for them. And they just made that decision. Now, for others of you though, your situation is leaps and bounds away from anything like that. I'm just getting that there's a very broad spectrum of situations that these cards are picking up on, and I want to try to read for as many of them as I reasonably can, but I also want to issue a warning here for this pile because, like I said, these cards are picking up on a very difficult situation. There are hard feelings here. A relationship has been ended, and I think for some of you, this could be a breakup situation, and maybe it is very recent, and you're still feeling very emotionally sensitive, in which case, I'm just prompting you to check in with yourself and make sure that this is the right reading for you at this time, and that it's going to be more helpful for you to hear these messages than hurtful. But there's the reason that I really want to harp on this warning is because there is a small group of people here, and I can't stress this enough. It is a very small group, but it's still very concerning to me, and so I want to bring it up. But there's a small group of people that are in a situation where it's like your person is not having a dialogue or a conversation with you about matters that you feel like they should be talking with you about. And it's because they're scared that if they say the wrong thing or if they say something in the wrong way, that there could potentially be a catastrophe that comes from that situation. And they don't want that to happen, and they don't know how to navigate the situation. So some of them could be putting it off and avoiding it. But I think for a lot of these people, they're looking for some kind of authority or guidance, some kind of professional assistance to help them navigate this situation successfully and safely. So what I mean here is like there's a type of emotional volatility maybe around the situation that you find yourself in here with this person. And so they want to make sure that they don't say something and then, maybe you feel like you lose control of yourself, or you feel like you need to hurt somebody else, or hurt them or hurt yourself. They don't want anything like that to happen. And so if that's the case, you can see my hesitancy to give these messages without first giving you that heads up. I do just want to say, if you are dealing with a situation like that, where you feel like there's something that I could say to you about the situation in this reading that could potentially set you over an edge where you're going to feel like emotionally flooded in that way, this is definitely not a safe reading for you. It's not the reading for you. This is probably not the channel for you. And I would say this is probably a situation that goes outside of the scope of tarot. And I would really strongly suggest, because tarot readers, we're not therapists. some of them maybe are, but they're still not acting as a therapist when they're reading online. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a trauma specialist. I'm not qualified to handle situations like that. So if you do need help, I always have mental health resources in the description box below. And of course, if it's an emergency, then call 911. So, okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. Essentially, what this person would want to say to you revolves around what Gestalt psychology refers to as creative adjustments that you have made within yourself over time, and maybe specifically in childhood or as a response to childhood, in order to keep you safe from unnecessary and unhelpful attacks, masked as constructive criticism, or maybe even a type of parenting. So you started to do this water off a duck's back thing in order to protect yourself. But now it's like you equate any feedback that you get like this as unreasonable or meant to harm you, not rooted in reality, or rooted in maybe a type of misunderstanding. And that word misunderstanding is really, really standing out to me, but I want to keep going with this. So just let's circle that and we'll try to get back to it. But I feel like overall, this has created an environment within you where yours is the only voice of authority that you'll really accept. So maybe this person would say that it has been really hard for them to be open and honest and to have a productive dialogue or the kind of productive relationship that they want to have with you, because of that mechanism that's kind of always lurking in the background of your interactions here with this person. But now the interesting thing is I feel spirit coming in here and actually wanting to use this situation here lovingly, very lovingly, as a mirror to kind of hold up for this aspect of you, because I actually feel like spirit has been having a difficult time trying to get you the feedback that you need in order to develop your own pearl and your own greatness. Because there's a sense here that anything that feels, bad, in order to confront it, it must automatically be bad. And so I feel like there's this hairpin trigger, there's this hairpin reaction. It's like that immune system response that we've been talking about. And we've been picking up on this message over on Patreon too, where we've been talking about the ego trying to commandeer an instinctual space, masquerading as that defensive instinctual energy, which is a brilliant place for that ego energy to try to hide, because the antidote to that is, meditation, but it's like bringing more and more space in between your thoughts and the thoughts that come up and that like hairpin reaction response, and you just keep doing that over and over again. But with instinct, that renders that whole system within you useless if you're going to have it pause. You know what I mean? Like you've got to respond just like that. So I feel like there's feedback that you're getting, and maybe it is critical in a type of way, but it really is constructive criticism, but it's not landing that way because of how things have gone down for you here in your past. So there's just a trying to shine a light on this within you, and spirit, I feel like, keeps trying to put these grains of sand in your path and like kick up stand into your oyster in order to help you make new creative adjustments, to realign yourself on your path, to have healthier, more productive conversations and healthier, more productive relationships here with people. But I feel like because it feels negative or bad, or you feel like people are coming at you, then you keep rejecting them and kind of spitting back out again. So I feel like that's what this connection here with this person really, it's all about. So in regards of how they would go about saying this, though, I do feel like at first this person would start talking with you about themselves. They would say that they've been doing well, stronger than yesterday, like from Brittany. And this person's energy does feel really strong and determined and independent. I think a lot of you could be asking about entrepreneurs here, or maybe somebody who is working on starting a business. I feel like they are shoring up some kind of foundation. Either they're building a foundation for themselves in home or career. It wouldn't surprise me if some of these people, it's like a literal foundation. They're like building a building, or they're pouring concrete or something like that. This person would tell you that they've been working on their routine, their health, their consistency, maybe even their coin. Here, overall, there is a sense of this person tending a property, though. Like maybe outside, this person's had to do a lot of landscaping or mowing, or again, they're preparing a property for foundation of some kind. There's a sense of this person having to be really disciplined. I feel like they have been very, like, in this very responsible, consistent energy. So maybe they haven't gotten to spend as much time as they wanted to playing or having a good time. They've just had to be very focused and very disciplined. I do feel like this has been for a consistent period of time here. Now, there's also a woman here that's showing up in these cards. It looks like a younger woman who is very pure in her intentions, and she has a type of emotional depth to her that has been leading the way. So if this is a masculine energy, it's almost like this is a person that is outside of them, of course, but they've been very inspired by this energy, and it's almost like they're trying to keep up with the tone that this other person is setting. And it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This could be a sibling, a friend, somebody that they met at church choir. This could even be a daughter, if this is like an older child here that they're just in love with and fascinated by. And again, there's a type of emotional depth and sweetness here to this person, this young woman that they would be speaking with you about. Now, if this is a woman, and especially if this is a younger woman that you're asking about, that didn't try to pull anything weird or shady, maybe for money, because there is the energy here of maybe somebody trying to, I don't know, trap somebody with a baby or something like that. That's just kind of like on the side here. So if this is a person that hasn't tried to do anything like that to you, then I feel like those qualities of having emotional depth and leading the way, then that's all qualities within them, if it makes sense. And also, if this is a woman here, she would tell you possibly overtly, but I feel like it's more, what she says would indicate that she has processed a lot of deep emotions. She's cleaned up her own bog here, so to say, but she's not currently in an emotional space. She's in an earthy space, right? Again, all those things: routine, health, independence. This is a pile with goals, and I feel like they've been focused on goals, and they understand that routine and consistency are how you meet goals. So there's also a real sense of this person trying to keep this conversation light between the two of you and non-emotional. Maybe there's a sense that like the emotional space between the two of you, it's not so great or something like that. So, okay. Now there's also some, like observations, I guess, about this situation that I'm picking up on. And what I'm getting about that is I feel like this person doesn't want to say these like different observations that they've noticed about like things that have gone down between you or like around the situation. It's not that they want to say those things, but I get the sense that if they needed to say them, they would, if that makes sense. Like what am I trying to say here? It's like, to a certain extent, they feel like what's gone down between you is obvious, but if certain things about how they view what's gone down between you are like not being reflected in the conversation, then they would say them like if they want to. There's a sense though that if this person got drawn into the conversation to that extent, that they would be disappointed. Like they don't want to rehash things. They don't want this to be emotional or anything like that. So this person feels, and they would potentially point this out to you, that you've had multiple conversations or experiences of one another, or they've had multiple experiences within a relevant arena or something like that. I have multiple businesses. I've done this before. There's these experiences or these conversations feels concrete, which I feel like they're probably in person or they're whole in some way. So regardless of whatever this concreteness is, there's a sense of you both having access to more than just the words between you, whether that is past memories or body language cues, environmental cues, actions, life experiences. There's something more substantial here than just the words that are being said here. There's like an overall tone to your relationship, I feel like, that this person would, and I mean tone as like things accumulating over time. So during these conversations or experiences, this person was accumulating a type of information, like a working model, in a normal way people do. This isn't coming off weird or like stalkerish. If you feel like this person is like that, then this isn't your pile, and that's also really not okay. So it's just like this person was building their mental map of you and of your situation, just like brains do. So at some point here, and that point's going to be different for everybody depending on your situation, they felt like they gathered enough information. But through the information that they had accumulated and whatever working model they had of you or of the situation, it was clear to them that you were definitely not on the same page. You were not seeing eye to eye. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Tevin Campbell, Eye to Eye from the Goofy movie. That song has been following me around. I knew this had everything to do with a kid, by the way. That just confirmed that for me. So some of you may be asking about a child, but not all of you. So just hold that thought and put it to the side. So the way in which this person felt that you weren't seeing eye to eye, it's a bit different depending on your situation. So it could have been a values thing, like an overall values thing as people. And for this person, it amounted to a type of irreconcilable differences. By the way, I sincerely hope that you're not married to this person and I'm the one mediating, because I think I'm pretty good at this. Don't get me wrong, but I also think that you can do better and I want that for you. I really do. So another thing that it could be here is that you didn't have the same goals or values for your relationship or for a specific conversation. This could also be a contract of some kind. So maybe they felt like that wouldn't be mutually beneficial or productive. So there's a sense here they felt they just needed to rip the Band-Aid off and call it and make the decision. And there is a sense here, and maybe you disagree. I'm kind of feeling like you do. But there is a sense of this person feeling like this was their decision to make, or that they were within their rights to make the call they did in the way that they did. And the thing is here, I feel like this is it. This is the key to understanding this whole situation and this person and what's going on here, is that from this person's perspective, the issue does not exist on the level of misunderstanding. There it is, huh? So they think, right, that they gathered enough concrete information to understand where you're coming from, your stance, your package, your values, your offer, whatever it is. And keep in mind, you probably disagree with this, because I can see from your side that you most likely feel that this was a misunderstanding. Now, Spirit is saying, for a lot of you, this is flipped. And it's actually going to be more helpful and fruitful for you processing this if you flip it in your own mind and own your own energy here, if that makes sense. So instead of projecting out onto this other person that they're confused and that they misunderstand you and that they need more information before they make their decision, say, wait, actually, I'm confused here. I'm the one that's confused. I don't understand this person's decision. I need more information. I would like to have a dialogue with this person, and just own the fact that you're confused, because to me, it doesn't look like they are. That's not, at the very least, that's not in their self-image. So I think for most of you, somehow, you have the authority or power in this situation, and that's contributing to this projection that you're doing onto them. It's a type of defensiveness here, you saying that this person's confused, because if they're not confused, you actually have to process this person's feedback, right? Which is kind of what Spirit has been coming in here to say. That's what I mean. It's like, this is, remember we were saying that water off the duck's back mechanism? That's part of it. Comes through in different ways, but this projection and this defensiveness is actually a way that you're just letting the water slide off of you and really not letting anything land. So you're never really grappling with anything enough to consider if somebody is actually telling you something because they want your relationship to be long term and there's just not something that's working out for them. Or, if they actually, it might be a negative thing that they have to bring light to, because sometimes that's just the truth of things in situations, but they're not trying to be negative towards you. It's something here like that. You're giving me an if-then statement, which makes me feel like this person you're asking about is very logical, just like in their brain, in their overall approach to life. But even if they're not, it's telling me that this person's approach to this situation is very logical. And it also could mean for some of you that this person is educated to some degree in a scientific field, even if it's a soft science like anthropology, sociology, psychology. But they're saying, look, if the issue was on the level of misunderstanding between us, then of course the solution would be to have a dialogue with you where we both can ask questions and give responses and try to clarify any confusing variables, the science word, there it is again, right? But instead, your person more looks at this like you are known quantities to each other, to whatever degree is necessary or appropriate, and that the base truth of the situation between you is that you just simply disagree, or you want different things, or you're fundamentally incompatible in some way, or you have different goals, different values. They could feel like a compromise in this situation is either inappropriate for some reason, or it's not fair to them. Or it means that somebody just gets bulldozed, right? Because in a situation, right, like say we're in a situation where I don't want to talk, but you do. So we compromise and we talk a little bit, right? Fundamentally, I didn't get what I wanted in that situation because I didn't want to talk at all. But fundamentally, you got what you wanted in the situation because you wanted to talk. Now, even beyond that, like say we're in that situation and we're living out our compromise, like we're talking a little bit. Every time we talk, I have to acknowledge that I've opened up potentialities here for my boundary to maybe get disrespected, right? Because say we're talking and something like very emotional comes up and like now it's a very emotional conversation. Or say that we're talking about something that it's going to take us an hour. Like when it comes up in conversation, it's going to take us an hour to talk that out or to reach some kind of conclusion or bring that to a close, right? But I've already said I'm not okay with that. Like I've already said that like from the beginning, okay? So it's like I've opened myself up to a situation where potentially you could say to me, isn't it so irresponsible of you to get off this phone before we've reached this conclusion? You know, before we brought this to a situation, basically trying to trap me into having this hour-long conversation, even though from the beginning I've been saying it's not what I want. Or like if it's very emotional, you could potentially say like, isn't it so cold-hearted and mean of you to get off the phone with me when I'm in such an emotional state? Even though like clearly this person is not trying to have emotional moments, like emotional interaction, you know. And again, it's like I said, I only wanted to talk. I agreed, I compromised to like just a little bit, right? So not only did my first threshold get knocked over, but now I run the risk of my threshold getting progressively pushed back more and more and more until I'm completely erased. I'm hearing the word engulfed, until I'm completely engulfed in whatever it is that you want, right? Okay, so Spirit, like inside of me, Spirit is rushing me through this because it's like Spirit is wanting to get to this like very big picture thing that it's like working up. It's very important here that Spirit like really is, Spirit's like, I've got an agenda here. Like I want this person to see this big picture, right? But within me, I'm like, hold on. Like there's a couple of more details here that are, it's super important. We can't just skip over them because even if you get to the big picture thing, it's not going to make sense. Like we don't talk about that. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because I feel like that same energy is mirrored in your person here in somehow, some way. Either in this situation with you that you're dealing with, or for a lot of you, this could be a background situation that you are not even aware of is going on. But it has some bearing, like Spirit's bringing it up because it has some bearing here on maybe your communication here with this person or this overall situation. Something like that. It feels maybe like it could be bureaucratic, but how it's coming through for me is like your person has these two very big ticket items that all they want to do is focus on those items. They just want to be able to take action on them, put their focus on them, right? But they can't do that because they keep getting snagged on all these little details that are coming up here in this situation. And it's like, well, these details need ironed out if I'm going to even be able to approach these big ticket things. Now, it could be that your situation here is one of these big ticket items. It could be that within your situation, you've got these two very big ticket items, right? Or it could be like outside of the situation together. But another facet of this situation I feel like is coming up here is that I feel your person, for a lot of you, is waiting on a message of some kind or waiting on communication, correspondence, clarification here. They're looking for some type of aha moment, like a breakthrough moment that they have decided they need resolved for themselves in order for them to know their position, in order for them to make their decision, in order for them to finalize their contract here with you, in order for them to even have a conversation here with you. Because for some of you, it's like, yeah, like maybe you're waiting here on this person, but you don't realize this person has been waiting on some kind of other correspondence. So what are they going to do? Get in contact with you and then just say like, I don't know anything still. You know what I mean? It's something like that that's coming up that you might not realize is affecting this conversation here with this person. So, okay, now back to my train of thought here, right? This person, they don't want to talk. And there is a few reasons that are coming up here that could be. So please only take what's yours and leave the rest, right? Now, also, please keep in mind, like this is a reading about what this person wants to say. And essentially, we've got a person here who doesn't want to say. They don't want to talk. So everything that's coming through here in this reading, it's like this person doesn't want to say these things, but like, I don't know, if they got cornered in the supermarket or if they had to say these things for some reason, right? Like these are the things that this person would say. And I do feel like their approach would be just like we started this reading out, where they're going to try to keep it light, try to keep it non-emotional, try to kind of juke out of the conversation if they could. But if they really got kind of stuck in it and, you know, you were kind of pressing them for answers on these things, these are the kinds of things that they would be talking about. So in terms of like, if you ask them why they don't want to talk, then the first reason that I'm getting is that expect that if they do open up a dialogue with you, or if they participate in a dialogue with you, that your energy could potentially be very salesman or evangelical in some way. And they don't want that. This is not a person who wants to be convinced. And depending on like this person's personality structure or like this type of situation, they might even feel disrespected. Like their self-sovereignty has been disrespected in some way. That's also a potential. So that's the strongest reason I'm getting for most of you. I think that's going to resonate. But that also could be piggybacking with some of these other things that I'm picking up on, right? Another one is that they may see you as emotional in this situation, or potentially emotional in this situation in a way that they could feel clouds your lens or inhibits your ability to be neutral in the situation, or again, just like clouds your overall appraisal of the situation here. And just, I'm not sure if I said that right, because I'm just the messenger here, right? Like we're asking a very specific question. These cards say something very specific, and I'm just telling you what these cards say, right? And that's my job. And I'm not taking up on your person's side or anything. I'm sure you have your own appraisal here of the situation too. We're just not looking into it. My hesitation is like, I want to just clarify that what I'm getting here for your person, it's not like I'm trying to stand up for them or anything, right? But to clarify that, I'm not getting that this person like wants to make fun of you for having emotions or wants to demonize you for having emotions or anything like that. I just heard I'm logical. I'm not dead inside. Like, it's just that it's more that this person, they actually, I think, feel like it's completely reasonable if you had some type of emotions here in this situation, or maybe they even expect that here. It's not that they want to demonize you, right? It's just that, remember, they're so logical. They just feel that the best approach in this situation is to cut through those emotions in order to get down to the baseline of the situation, in order to get to the statistics, right, of the situation, to establish like the pattern of what at the end of the day actually goes on here. When it's all said and done, what's actually the result? What's actually like, happening here? And they feel like making any decisions from that place is the best approach to this situation. You may disagree, but they feel like that's actually going to lead to the best outcome for everybody here, even if the emotions are difficult, at the beginning, or, hard to handle in some type of way. So, okay. The next thing is that they might feel that you would use emotional arguments to persuade them into like an arrangement or an agreement that they've already evaluated is not what's best for them. And when I said emotional arguments, like it brought up something else, but my original, like what I mean by that is they, again, feel like you bring up variables in the situation that are there, they're valid, but they're just more on the emotional end of it, which this person is not it's not weighted the same between the logical arguments, so they think like potentially that's what you're going to do is bring up these emotional arguments, but they're not carrying the same amount of weight as the logical ones. But the other thing I'm getting with emotional arguments, and this is going to be for like just a small number of people here, right? So only take it if it resonates. It's like this person actually wants to have this conversation with you. If there's something about their character or something where it's like, if they felt like it was a possibility, or that it was reasonable in some manner, that they would have this conversation with you, but there's something that pauses because they feel like they can't simply have the conversation with you, because there is a potential here that this conversation, and I'm hearing it's more than a potential. Like if this part of it is your situation, right? Don't take it on if it's not yours. Let me back up, okay, and be clear about it. It's like this person would have this conversation, but they feel like there is a high potentiality here that this, and again, this person's basing this off of some kind of working model here. And I think for a lot of you, this is their interactions that they've had with you directly, but it could be just other situations, the experiences that they've had in their life. I don't know. You'll have to take that how it resonates. But this person feels like with this backdrop, there's a high probability that this conversation, even though they want to go in and just have this housekeeping kind of conversation with you, and again, keeping it, this person is not trying to go into an emotional space, right? If this is a breakup, this person, it's a declaration that they're wanting to disentangle that emotional part of it and just deal with the business of like what you need to deal with, together, that kind of a thing. But they feel like there's a high potentiality that this, when they go in for that conversation, it's going to get derailed in an emotional way. And that that shakes out again, like depending on your situation. So maybe that's by anger. Like you get mad. Now this is a rage fest. Now we're having an argument, and this person feels like now we've got to diffuse and de-escalate the situation before we can have this original conversation that we intended. It's not like we can't just have the conversation. We've got to like do all of this to have the conversation. Then the other way is like maybe this person feels like you could be overcome with sadness and hurt in this situation, and then this person is going to caretake you in the situation because again, like this person's like, I'm logical, I'm not dead inside, and so now they've got to again like caretake you the situation to bring you back down to baseline again before they can even get into the conversation that they came here to have in the first place. And that I feel like for this person, not for all of your people, but I think for a lot of them, that in and of itself feels like a violation of their boundaries. They're not wanting to have this emotional like connection here. Now, dipping into that a little bit further, there is something here where it's like on the extreme end of things. This person could feel like it's more slick maneuvering, that you want their attention on you in an emotional way, and that you would capitalize on this, the necessity of having like a housekeeping conversation in order to get mad and have this argument, or get sad and like have this person caretake you because that this person's not mean and that they're not just gonna like be okay with you crying or something. And so they feel like you could be intentionally doing that in order to steal their emotional energy and put it on you in that type of way, because they feel like you understand that changes the dynamic here of the situation. It maybe prolongs things, like maybe it feels awkward now, especially if you're crying, like now this person can't have the conversation that they want to have. Something here like that, they could feel like that's a potentiality. Now, on the less extreme end of things, this person doesn't feel like you're slick maneuvering and that you're trying to that you're doing all of that intentionally. This person thinks that you're having genuine emotional responses of anger or of sadness and hurt, but it still has the same effect, right? Of like derailing the conversation. And I do get in that sense, like this person, they're really, sensitive about not sending mixed signals, because they're going to feel like they want to caretake you, because this is a person that's not just going to want to stand there cold. Some of them might make that decision because they feel like that's ultimately what's best, because they don't want to send mixed signals of like, now I'm comforting you, and you might get the idea that there's something here between us and that now we can come back together. Maybe some of you would even get swept up in the moment and try to kiss this person or something. They don't want something like that to happen. So again, only take that situation if it's resonating. That's something that just came up. So, okay, they also could feel, how do I want to say this? Like, the word that's coming through is they feel that you could weaponize. And that is like a trigger word, right? Which makes me feel that this is like a very intense situation here between the two of you, right? But that's how I'm getting it. Like, they feel that you could weaponize, or at the very least, what is the word? It's like, at the very least, you could misapply. There we go. Words like misunderstanding. Or even that you use or you leverage a type of cordiality and politeness, either within your own personality or like social graces kind of thing, like what's expected socially, in order to engage people, trap people is also what I'm getting, in this kind of like salesman-y conversation when you know that they actually just disagree with you and that they really just need something different for themselves. And knowing that that's the baseline, they really just need you to respect their self-sovereignty and their autonomy in the situation. I'm hearing thinly veiled control and wolf in sheep's clothing. Again, like only take what resonates here. Like Nicki Minaj is coming through in my head. I bust shots, don't duck if it don't apply. Spirit is saying, I'm giving you, like we're reading for a lot of people, this, I'm giving you all of it, but just if it's not applying, like, don't take it on. But at the same time, Spirit's kind of yelling at me in my head, because it's like, look, if this is just hard to look at, then don't let me pull you away from it and then encourage this whole water off a duck's back thing that Spirit's been trying to kind of like highlight here within your energy, right? So by all means, if you need to sit with something here and question yourself, squish it around in your mouth a little bit, then please do, because we all have to do that with ourselves, at some point or another. And I don't want to sit up here like, I'm pretending like I'm perfect, because Lord knows I am not, okay? I'm not up here passing judgment from a superior position. I am not at all, okay? So, okay. Just continuing on with this. This person, they think that what you actually mean, some of you, if this part of this is resonating for you, right? That what you actually mean by the word understanding in this situation or sentiments like that is we're actually after, it's a type of homogeny. It's a type of consensus. It's people agreeing with you. It's like either they come around to your perspective or your point of view, or that dealing with you becomes so cumbersome and overwhelming and relentless that they just eventually tap out and give in order to regain some sense of peace and normalcy in the situation in their life. That ultimately gets branded at some point as a compromise. But it's really no such thing. That's another misapplied word is what I'm hearing. And for some of you, they wonder if you strategically do it. But for others of you, it's like, I'm seeing Inigo and Montoya in my head from Princess Bride. Like, I do not think that word means what you think it means, right? But they don't really think that you care which way it goes. Like if you actually pull someone around to agreeing with you, or if they just acquiesce in order, to kind of tap out of the situation, they feel like you don't care as long as you get your way. Which, again, that's not going to be for all of you. But if that is the situation here, there's really no foundation of mutual respect to have any kind of genuine relationship or dialogue in the first place. But they feel like you don't acknowledge that this approach that you have, you're not acknowledging that for it to be as tyrannical and as aggressive as it is in actuality, because you're throwing around these misapplied fluff words. And that came through just like that. I know this has been a tough reading. So if you are still hanging in here, I just want to say kudos. That's not an easy thing to do. So, yeah, I just want to say good job, because this has been a tough one. So, okay. I did just hear this lyric, and I'm going to put this out there. Again, don't take this if this does not apply, but it's like, when the words and the actions blur and they don't know different. And I'm not going to tell you what song that is, because it's a mean song. It's not a good song. And I don't want you to listen to it. Don't. Even if it applies to your situation, just don't. But yeah, so there is something here about like this discrepancy between words and actions, where on the one side, you've got the words of the situation. And then on the other side, you've got the actions and you've got the values. And there's something here about, how like our mood over long periods of time, that really becomes personality. Climate patterns over period of time, weather patterns over time, that becomes climate. There's these things where it's like, there's a quality here of what could you possibly say that would override what I've seen or what's been done, or these other huge expressions of opposite values, either opposite values to them and what they have and what they find important, or maybe even opposite, like to what you do or how you live, being opposite to the values that you profess. Like, again, like you say you want these words, like you say misunderstanding, you say you want understanding, you say that you want compromise. But it's like over time, the way that these things play out over time, it actually signals to this person that it's not really that you have the values of compromise or understanding. Actually, you want to win, like regardless of what. And if that means that you play polite and you throw around words like understanding and compromise at just the right time in order to, have somebody like re-engage you, then that's what you'll do. But that you don't actually make an effort to live those values in the long term of compromise. It's like it goes back to the same way of being, because you got what you wanted, but that was your ultimate goal. And that again could be the difference in goals here between the two of you, where they're like, I actually do want to compromise, but it's like once you say it, then I want it to, like, I want to see that like reflected in your behavior, something like that. And obviously you don't have to agree with this, and all of this might not even be resonating with you, but stuff like that can also be really, really hard to catch in ourselves too. So this is hard, you guys. I'm feeling so drained by this. I hate this reading, honestly. It's uncomfortable. I'm worried that I'm making you feel bad, or that you're going to blow up at me in the comments section. But I feel like, again, that's how your person's feeling. Because at the same time, it's like, I know what I'm seeing here in these cards, and we're all adults, and I believe in doing the hard stuff. And I believe if you want to know this kind of stuff, then, and you can handle it, and you're choosing to click on this video, like you're standing in your own self-sovereignty. And I believe in doing this hard work for ourselves. So I think it's like these dual perspectives. That's how your person's feeling too. It's like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place of like, I'm worried that I'm going to make you feel bad. I'm worried that this is going to have a catastrophizing like result, or, but at the same time, I feel like this is what's necessary here in something. I'm hearing can of worms. And I'm hearing your person say it's like almost, why try to be understood? It's not worth it. And I'm just going to get demonized, or I'm going to get bulldozed in the end. And I can do that without, going through the song and dance. So, at the end of the day, I feel like there's just not a belief here in either the necessity of the conversation, the safety of the conversation. That's a big one. The emotional safety, the safety of their own self-sovereignty and their right to make their own decisions, the effectiveness of the conversation, or even for it to unfold in a way that's productive, equitable, and respectful. And by respectful, I don't mean manners. You both agree that you're polite, right? I mean, in terms of like this self-sovereignty, in terms of just respecting each other's right to have a differing opinion, to have different needs from one another, and to even have needs that the other one might not understand, but still makes an effort to accommodate, right? So now, believe it or not, I've saved the biggest, strongest energy here for last, mostly because I'm scared to say it. That's definitely how your person feels too. They also feel like there's all these hurdles that we've been talking about that need to be understood before they can kind of, make this point, or they feel like they can actually say what they want to say. And I'm going to pause real quick, not because I'm scared to say it or anything, but because Spirit wants you to commit that in and of itself to memory. Because regardless of whether or not you agree with this person, and I think we've established pretty well that most of you don't, their feeling of, I've got an unpleasant truth that I want to tell pile number one and have respected. Not agreed with. We're steps behind that. We're talking about respected. So I only feel like my safe options are limited now, right? Because I feel like that might not happen, right? So my safe options are cut ties and move away, stuff things down and pretend like nothing's wrong, or erase themselves and betray themselves so completely through agreeing with you externally, because I think that's what you want and that's exclusively what you're after, when internally they don't agree with you. I'm going to say that again. This person feels like because of all these things, all these different factors in the situation, they feel like their only safe options with you are to cut ties and move away completely, to stuff things down and pretend like nothing's wrong, or to erase themselves and betray themselves through agreeing with you externally when they do not agree with you for real internally. They're scared of being engulfed by you emotionally. That's an enmeshment wound. Okay? So there's a desire here to exercise their power or to take back their personal power here, depending on their situation. And Spirit wants you to remember that, to remember how this type of a dynamic plays out before I finally say what this person wants to say. And honestly, I feel like the spiritual purpose of this entire connection. And that is because you've got a child around you that feels this exact same way, or you will have, and you're being prepared. And the desire here through Spirit is to help you along your way, right? But it's to deal with that outside of this connection here with this child, to learn this through a connection with an adult that's better, capable, that can actually, because if this is your child, like they get with the program, they don't have any power in the situation, right? So this is why Spirit, remember I said Spirit's having a very difficult time getting your lessons to you, right? And it could be that their only option is through this child, but they're not trying to do that. They're trying to take the heat off this kid if they're already around you, right? But again, if not, you're being prepared for this. Because I do feel this child on a spiritual level, this might be uncomfortable for you to hear, but I think some of you need to hear it. On a spiritual level, this child's emitting like a spiritual distress signal. And in whatever way they do, they have asked for help and assistance. And this person in this situation is a response to that. They've been sent in to help you both along the way here. So in a shell, if you figure out what went wrong with this person on your end here, stop focusing on what all the things this person isn't and all the things this person doesn't understand. And this person has issues with me. Well, I got issues with them, right? Like, stop focusing outside yourself. You have no power there, right? Instead, if you understand this fully, what went wrong on your end? Because that doesn't, the rest of it, it's like just understand what you can change, how you can adapt, right? How you can creatively adjust. And if you can put your ego down and if you can integrate that lesson into yourself, it's going to help this kid. But it's also going to act like a balm to spread out and heal many of your other relationships. Because I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, but I think a number of your relationships have been suffering. And they need this sort of like, it all centers around the same realization. So there is a potential here for this balm to spread out and help do that. Remember the scene in the Hunger Games when Haymitch floats Katniss that ointment in the tree? It's like this person was the vehicle that Spirit used in order to float you the ointment that you needed to start healing the relationships in your life, especially the one with this kid here. And that's important to understand, because I think a lot of you are looking at this person because you want absolution, you want resolution, and you want it from them. You want them to say something to you that signals that. You want something very specific here in an interaction with this person. But it might surprise you that that is not Spirit's primary agenda here in this kind of a dynamic. It's not. I feel like if this happens at all, it's going to be as a consequence, as a result. And it might not happen, right? But it will happen as a result of you actually resolving this within yourself. Figuring out what went wrong on your end, and you're responsible for that. Because, especially for those of you who are following me over here on Patreon, then I feel like this person that we're looking into here, this is the white rabbit person that we've been picking up on. Or especially if this was a masculine, they led you to the white rabbit person, because the white rabbit has like a very strong feminine energy. And I do think for a lot of you, maybe it's this woman that we were picking up on at the beginning of this reading, this very pure intentioned woman that is the white rabbit that is leading you down the rabbit hole to a deeper understanding of yourself and your own actions and things like that. That all could be, right? And that was Spirit's intention, is to help drop this key off. And the way that they did it, it's like your experience with this person is whole. And some of you need to hear that. It's like, and I don't mean any disrespect by this metaphor, right? But some of you are like, Jessica, this reading has already been tough, girl. What else could you possibly say? I know it's been a tough one, okay? But you know those Kong toys for dogs? And you stick the treats in there, and it gives the dog the treat, but the dog has to interact with the toy, right? It's so much different than just handing your dog the treat. So there's something about this person, right? And the situation that's gone down where you're like the dog that's sniffing around this. You're interested in it, right? And you're interacting with it. And when you do, it kind of gives you a treat. This experience is like that Kong. It's whole in and of itself. The treats are inside. The value is inside. You already have it. And through your interest in understanding this person or understanding the situation, because I think there's something about them that maybe is attractive, or it's ooh, shiny. That's different. What is that, right? It's through that's what's going to, I'm hearing slow release, right? What the nourishment you need in this situation, it's a slow release. So it's the gift that keeps on giving, and that gift is healing these relationships, right? Especially here with this kid. Now, I hope you're ready, right? Because we finally, this is what brings us to what your person wants to say to you, just bluntly and concisely. I hope you're ready. You've had a while to warm up. Some of you are pissed about that. Me too. So, okay. What they would want to say to you is that there is distorted nurturance energy here. And Spirit's telling me to be more specific and to be more clear and direct. But I feel like actually I'm still juking around it. I don't want to tell you directly, right? And I feel like this is another thing that your person might do to try to avoid a fight or in order to keep safe, right? Is to minimize or to say it in a non-direct way. And maybe this child that's involved too, they would minimize their needs or they say it in a non-direct way. But basically, and I'm about to lay it on you, okay? Ready? Basically, you've got an authority problem masquerading as nurturance and care. And the specifics for how that manifests in your own life, that's going to vary. But it does have something to do with fronting care when you're actually after control, or fronting nurturance when you're actually after authority. Something like that. And I'm going to let you kind of reflect on this here, right? Because Spirit really wants to talk about this kid here. And for most of you, I feel like this is a kid who is already in your life. And this kid could be any age. You could even have just maybe found out that you're pregnant here, and this could still resonate. I mean, it could really be anything. And this message is still coming through for this kid in some way, shape, or form. So if this is a really, really little kid, then, or they're not born yet, or they don't, even they're older, but maybe they don't have the words to express these concepts and things, then this is coming in on their behalf from Spirit itself, from their guide team, from their higher self, something here to advocate for them and for their little soul, right? But for a lot of these kids, they're wanting to have this conversation with you. They're just trying to figure out how to do it, right? And just like this other person you were asking about was trying to figure out how to navigate the conversation space with you. And this kid is bumping up against a lot of the same obstacles that this other person is bumping up against. And so Spirit's hope is that you're learning these more difficult lessons here with this adult that can better navigate this and has autonomy and can stand up for themselves or something here, so that you can integrate these lessons and then apply them here with this child who needs you and who is more vulnerable in a situation, right? So, okay, basically this child, and if it's not the child, keep in mind this is their guide team and stuff coming through like on their behalf. The message here is that they don't know if you've noticed or not, but they feel like they've been really responsible and that they've been really, really consistent here lately. They've done all the things you've asked of them. They've been keeping up on their chores, keeping up on their room, whatever it is. They feel like their behavior has been good. And for some of you, I do feel like you've addressed something very specific with this child here recently about their behavior, told them they needed to rein something in. And they want to say, look, have you noticed I've really, really been doing that? I've been putting my focus. Now, the reason that they're wanting, again, to highlight their track record here, and they're trying to draw your attention to this, is because they want to pitch you that they are ready for the next stage of development, whatever that is for them, wherever it is that they're at. And it could be that this is a child who has experienced a lot of boredom because there's been some repetition or something, and they want to cut their teeth on something new. And they know that this means there's like more responsibility, but this is a kid who, like this other person, right? They really value, and they've got their eyes set here on something that blends in. It has something to do with their autonomy and their own independence. But I'm telling you, with this kid, it's something very, very specific. That in order for you to agree to them doing it or let them do it, you would have to notice that they are ready to be more autonomous or more independent in some type of way. You'd have to agree with them. And I'm not here to say you need to agree with them or you need not to, but Spirit's definitely saying, like, just notice, and like the conversation does need to be had in some type of way. But I see Spirit, I see here actually being like Spirit's side of this. It's not necessarily coming from this kid. Spirit is concerned as in a social regression in this child. That's already happened, is what it looks like here. And the reason Spirit's concerned about that is because this soul, that's not a part of what this soul was sent here to experience. I'm really getting that this is not a child that has like a predisposition that they would struggle socially. It's not in their soul contract. That's something extra that you would be adding on if this regression keeps happening or if it doesn't get turned around or addressed. So Spirit's just wanting to come down here and say, like, maybe part of this social regression is tied in with like this child's independence. And I feel like that's what this whole other situation here was about. So with that, you are still here to the end of this reading. I just want to say thank you. You're a trooper. Mad respect already. Even if you are dealing with some of these issues, mad respect already. We all start somewhere. So good on you. And listen, if you got something out of this, then please subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys. All right, pile number 2. What's that? Okay, I don't know if you just heard me do that, but I was like, what's that? Like, I saw a little bubble on here. So I feel like there's an element of that here to this group where they're like, wait, what's that? What's pile number 2 doing? What's pile number 2 up to, right? Because there's a sense of something going on within you, but like it's starting to bloom and blossom. I'm hearing the word origin story. And to be honest with you, what this person wants to say, I can't quite tell if it's like they want to talk about themselves or if they're talking about the things that they notice in you. And I feel like that's because there's a strong similarity between you and this person that you are asking about. There's a strong mirrored energy here. So just take this however it's resonating. But I'm getting the sense that this person would want to talk about this beginning that you're having, this origin story. And it's almost like maybe they're trying to get to the beginning of this origin story. But part of the meaning of this card is that every time you try to figure out like the beginning of something, you keep going back and back and back and back and back, right? And so I do think there's this curiosity about you and about what made you and about who it is that you are, right? So this person, they've seen you through two specific lenses, and that's something that they would maybe try to bring up or try to reconcile here. But I really feel like a very positive, energized vibe throughout the conversation here. And to be honest, there's a lot of similar themes to pile number one, but it's without all of like the baggage and the difficulties. This is like a healthy relationship, but it's kind of dealing with the same types of themes and things. The hardest part of this reading is honestly figuring out like which way this goes, because at the center of this reading there is a very strong feminine energy, and it doesn't have to be a female, but I think for most of you it is. And there's just a lot of energy and a lot of activity, a lot of abundance, confidence, value that's going on around this feminine energy, or being produced here by this feminine energy is what I'm hearing. And I can't tell that if some of you are asking about this feminine energy and like what it is that she would tell you about herself and about her life and things like that, or if you are this feminine energy and you're asking about somebody who really has just noticed what it is that you've been up to and is excited and is curious and is interested about that, and would actually just point out a lot of stuff about you. I feel like it's going to go one of those two ways. So I hope that this reading is going to make sense, because I don't know which way to read it from. I'm just going to kind of wing it and go with it. So, okay. I do feel like here's how we're going to do it. It's from this other outside perspective looking in. That's where I'm going to go with it, I guess. So this person would first say that they have been watching you, and they've been watching you grow some type of abundance. They've been watching you kill it, not in a creepy way. And this person is, like I said, they're very impressed, and they're excited, and they're energized, and maybe even inspired here from something that it is that you've been doing. Now, if this person has not been watching you, which I do think for most of these people they have been, but if they haven't been outright watching you build something here, then they're in some way aware of whatever it is that you have been up to. Maybe they've just heard some things like through the grapevine, that kind of thing. But either way, it's like they're very happy for you. And that's something that they would want to express, how excited and how happy they are. They would also want to express some kind of support here, because I think whatever you're doing is it's creative or it's communal or something like that. And it's almost like expressing support for whatever it is that you're doing. It's also expressing support here for you. And this person is genuinely excited to see you succeed, because I feel like there's an aspect to you here where it's like there is some type of underdog energy, because this person would say that to you as well. Like maybe they would say like, I always saw some certain things in you. Like I always saw that you were very independent. I think that's definitely something this person saw. Like you stood out in some way and you weren't afraid to go your own way and separate yourself out from the crowd. For some of you, this person has noticed that maybe you are a bit introverted, and that you need your alone time and things. I feel like this could be a shared energy between you and this other person, and it's something that you feel a kindred. It's not something that you feel like you need to explain, like that you both have this sort of lone wolf energy here a little bit. But this person, it's like they've seen the progression, because in the past, they feel like this independence, it was more like your selfhood was restricted here in some way. And I don't know how long this person has known you or how deeply they know you. That's kind of what I'm getting with this seed energy, because it's like they understand that there's been some type of authoritarianism in your past or some type of restriction. There is father and mother energy indicated here, with a special emphasis on the father. And far be it from me to judge what you and this person talk about or what this person wants to say to you or speak with you about, but I think that's something that they want to talk about with you here, because remember how I was saying you and this person are very similar? This might actually be an arena of your lives where you are very similar, regardless of whether or not you know this. But it's like coming across as maybe you do have a very strict father or very controlling father, where maybe they didn't have a lot of time for you, or they didn't express a lot of genuine joy and appreciation, affection towards you here. Especially when you were in your sun energy, like your personal philosophy, independence, uniqueness, creativity, self-expression, individuality, right? Any of those things. And especially independence and autonomy is really standing out to me, because that's what a developmental milestone is for a kid, It's a celebration of increased independence and autonomy and self-expression. But I feel like as you were crossing these thresholds, that wasn't met appropriately here by this father figure, where either it was overlooked and ignored altogether, or was actively thwarted, because this is a father energy that weaponized these things: time, affection, attention. Whereas like if you were in your son's space and you were expressing your uniqueness and your individuality, your autonomy from them, they would withhold their attention and their affection from you and their time. Whereas if you were restricting your son energy to comply with some kind of a role that this father figure expected you to try to stuff your identity into, or maybe this had to do with manners, but this would be taken to like an extreme where it's like manners are your identity now, enjoy that, or you were just trying to comply with whatever this father figure was asking of you, probably at the cost of your own son energy, independence, individuality. Then that's when this father would withhold time, attention, affection. It's like kind of a corrupted behaviorist philosophy that is trying to masquerade as a type of parenting, but really it amounts to like neglect or abuse here in some way. It's almost like they were trying to train you to be dependent on them or to crave their affection or their approval. But I feel like you've broken through this here, and this person kind of wants to know how you did it, I think. They look up to you in a way. This is like respect, admiration. They want to celebrate you here in this. They're like, you did it. Now teach me how you did it. How did you do this? Sorcery. And I do think on a higher level, this is a soul that is trying to arrange with you in some way or another, whether it's in this life or in another life, for you to help them learn this too. Now, I feel like some of you are thinking to yourself, like, yeah, I mean, that all resonates. Like, it's true to my life and to who I am. But I don't feel like it's resonating for the reading because I didn't know this person from childhood. And it wasn't all that deep or intimate between us. And they don't know about my dad and my family and all of this stuff. So how could they possibly want to say all of this to me, right? And the thing is, this person, regardless of how well you know each other, because for some of you, I feel like, you met later on down the line. This could even have been a work connection where they noticed that you had a really difficult boss. Maybe you had the same like very difficult and controlling boss. Or they know that you work in a field that is very restrictive in terms of your own personal and creative expression. And unfortunately, that is many jobs today. But, it could be something where like you wear scrubs and you're not allowed to paint your nails and you've got to put your hair in a hairnet, or you've got to wear a uniform, or maybe you work in any form of customer service. So the literal way that you communicate yourself has to be mechanistic and tailored and modified and restricted in some way because you've got to say this tagline every 5 minutes, or, like so many jobs are like that where there's a restriction of personal self-sovereignty, personal self-expression. So yeah, for some of you, it's just as deep as that, right? But what Spirit is saying coming through here is that this person has made observations about you. That's the core of this reading. Is like, that's a lot of what they want to say. And it's in a really admiring kind of a way. I feel like you're a bit of an enigma to this person. So they're curious about you, and they want to just kind of sniff around whatever it is that you've got going on. And in a certain sense, this person doesn't even know what they want to know about you because you're that enigmatic, you're that mysterious. This person has really had difficulty grasping a hold of your identity and understanding fully who and what it is that you are. And we'll talk more about that here, just later. So it's like they don't know what they don't know in order to figure out what exactly it is that they want to ask you. So what Spirit is saying here is that ultimately, whatever mundanity this person is going to ask you about to start with, which is, it might be about, oh my gosh, what it is that you're doing and how exciting it is. I think eventually this conversation will work around to the fact that this person is trying to be more independent here in some way. They're trying to go more independent, be an entrepreneur. For some of these people, I think they're established or they're like comfortable on the material aspect of things, like in terms of money and assets, but they want to go more spiritual. And so they might be trying to go like independent in that kind of a way. But Spirit is saying that ultimately, regardless of where it is you start this conversation, on what observation this person has noticed about you, and it's like they keep pulling on this thread, right? This conversation and what they want to know, it's going to keep expanding, first of all, and it's going to keep going back and back and back and back and back. Because ultimately, what this person is curious about and what they want to know from you is, how do you break this unholy addiction that was put there by your father or this like parental in order to crave their approval, where you were encouraged to put on this false identity and then forego and sacrifice yourself, because this is a person who wants to live and embrace more of their original genuine self. That's what this ultimately is all about here. Now, let's talk about some of the specifics here that this person would want to say to you, because there is plenty of that here. And like I said, this person makes a lot of different observations about you, and it is like they've observed certain traits within you, but they haven't been able to connect those traits to anything definitive about your character, your overall personality, what's important to you, those kinds of things. That's all kind of been like floating around. But I get the sense that this person has made these observations. They've observed you through two very distinct lenses. And that can be anything, right? Like maybe this person has observed you in two very different environments or at two very different times in your life, but they walked away with these two very distinct impressions, but they have a common core. And this common core, I think, is what they were mentioning at the beginning of you being independent, you being a lone wolf, you not being afraid to go your own way, right? This is something that they've always noticed in you, but it's like the way that they relate to that now has shifted and changed in a way that amounts to them as a type of duality that you hold within yourself. But it's a duality that this person has really come to love and appreciate, because it's not a duality that I want to describe as coming across on a horizontal plane. Like you open up a book and, there's the two sides of the page, right? That you have two very distinct sides of you and flip a coin as to which one's coming out that day, and they never know what to expect from you. It's not coming across like that. Your duality is coming across as something more like vertical. It unfolds slowly over time, just like the lotus flower, how it starts off as a root and underwater, but then it ends up something completely different. And there's a duality there, but there's that commonality, that common thread of who it is that you are. And I think in the past, this person was relating to these traits of you being a loner or being independent. They were relating to it in a bad way. Like maybe you were stuck up or self-important or full of yourself or something like that. But they realize now that they were wrong about that. And I do think this person didn't realize, everything that you were dealing with and all of the things that were binding you and trying to pull back. And to a certain extent, this person might still not realize that, but they realize that they kind of have gotten the wrong impression of you. Now, another thing this person will want to talk with you about is along their journey to making this connection about you and your energy and your personality, this person has had many different emotions, and anger has been one of them. I do feel like this person has felt very mad about you, and it has to do with this release energy, because I think that you have released this person in some way or another. And like you could have just moved away from this person, but they felt discarded by you in a type of way. Now, for some of you, maybe this person released you, but if they were the one doing the releasing, it's like they felt like you gave them no other choice, because maybe you were acting out, or they felt like you were disrespecting them and you didn't give them any other choice but to release you. But I think for most of you, you did release this person, and they would tell you that for them, it felt like a heartbreak. It felt like a type of betrayal, because no matter what arena you knew this person from in your life, whether it was work or a friend group or anything else, like a soccer team, I don't know, water polo, anything, wherever you knew this person from, they had it in mind that you were going to be around long term for some reason. Like, I think this person is always I'm hearing girl crush, like, this person's always kind of liked you. They've always kind of like admired your energy, and they've always wanted to give you their cup of love. And you may or may not realize this in the past. And I think this is a bit where your wires have been getting confused, and this person realizes this now, is you may not have realized that this person was trying to give you their cup of love. And this is in like a sweet, simple way. It doesn't have to be romantic. This could be on any level, because this person just likes you. There's this bird of a feather energy that the two of you have, where you're both independent creatures. Maybe you're both introverts. And this person, oh my gosh, they've always just been so curious about you. And I get the sense that you're a hard person to get to know, pile number 2. And I'm not saying you should change. I think that you're that way for a reason, but they would tell you that in the past. They had a hard time getting to know you and breaking through your barriers. And they thought it was because you felt you were self-important. But I do feel that this person was doing a lot of sneaking around you, not in a creepy way. It's just like to find out information about you, like what it is that you're about, like who it is that you are. Because this person was trying to bond with you or like offer you something, but they felt like you weren't receiving it. And I'm not, and you might not have been, maybe you like actually did turn this person down, but it's more like you're not noticing, or like you're just deflecting it. And I don't think you were even meaning to, because I'm getting the impression from your energy that you don't accept, like, love and relationships have always come with strings attached. So I just think you're protective of your energy. This is what it's coming through like to me. I might be wrong about this, but it's like it always has felt like strings attached. Or if you invite someone into your life as a friend or something, that it means that they're going to do the same thing that your dad did, where they impose their own expectations on you, or, something here like that. And it's just draining. And you're like, I would rather not deal with that. I think you're a person who likes your own company. You have a lot of projects and a lot of interests, and you're introverted. I do think there's a side to you that is very introverted. I think you're very pleasant and very lovely to be around too. But this person took that as they weren't good enough for you or something like that. Now, yeah, And there is, now this person realizes, because it's like you have a blend of traits that come together in this way that I'm calling your duality, that they've never seen before, and it's so precise. Like, I'm getting this image of one of those fancy rockets that like SpaceX sends up, and then they land it back down on this like tiny little landing pad, and you're like, magic, sorcery. Like, what is that? Like, how do they even do that? It's so precise. Like, that's something here about this dual energy, and about these traits that you have that seem incompatible unless you were a very virtuous, very, very good person. And this person's realizing that that's the blend that you have. And it's almost like, wow, like, how does this person even like do that? How do those things even go together? So this person does want to talk to you here about the past, because in the past, there is something here about femininity, and it's maybe just how you express your feminine side if you are a male energy or more masculine. But I think for a lot of you, I think you're beautiful. Like, I think you have a type of beauty to you naturally, but you don't want to come across as ironically enough, you don't want to come across as self-important. You don't want to come across as vain, or that you find yourself attractive and that you're hot stuff, right? So I do feel like in the past, they got this impression of you where you were downplaying your appearance. You were maybe dressing it down in some type of way. And especially in regards to your femininity, whatever that means, that feminine flair or that feminine creative side. And maybe they're, I don't know how this person related to that exactly. Maybe they still don't know what to make of it, but, I think maybe you were struggling with self-love, and that you felt like other people didn't love you, and that other people, because there's this interesting duality here about you, and somehow this person would maybe want to talk about this, where it's like, don't look at me, like I'm not important, like, you're very caring, you want to take care of all these other people, but on the inside you have this deep longing to be seen. Like, to be really seen and valued and appreciated for who and what it is you are. And I'm telling you, this is a person who does this at this time. They do see how interesting and unique and how strong you are. They see that you've built yourself up, that you've worked really hard to become the person that you are. And they do actually see this here in you now. And maybe this person just thought that you weren't putting all that much time into your appearance. For some of you, it's like you weren't putting much time into your appearance. You were getting stuff done, and then you were focused on building up, I heard an empire, but you were focused on building a skill. Like, maybe you were going to school or something like that in your spare time, and this person sees that about you now. So yeah, that brings us to now, where this person sees you as having come into yourself. This person also sees that you've been hurt in the past, that relationships haven't always been easy for you. They see now that you've been defensive, you've been protective. You weren't being rude, and you weren't being self-important, and you weren't being arrogant. You were being self-protective. That's really what this is about. This is what this person would want to explain to you. A couple more things here. So this person would also tell you that they have been very, very focused on their work and their productivity recently, because like I said before, this person has a strong goal to become more independent in the material world here in some way. And they're very, very serious about this. So I just heard financially independent here is a goal for some of these people. Also, they could be starting their own business, their own project, their own shiz here. And they're serious about it, and they've been working really, really hard. The other thing that they would want to say is, that they want to approach slowly and with caution. They're not trying to spook you. They're not trying to hurt you. They're not trying to step over your boundaries or be weird about that. They want to talk with you. I think they want to have a relationship with you. I think they always have. They've always seen something in you that they've liked and they've felt a kindred to. And they want all of that. And they definitely want to have this conversation, but they want to do it respectfully. And they want to do it, again, slowly and like giving you all of the signals that they mean you no harm. And this person would also say that they have questions here about the past. And I think some of these questions, because this person did feel rejected by you, they didn't feel good enough, they felt rebuffed by you, so they might have questions about like certain incidents or like your behavior or why you did this or why you did that. They just want to clear it up in their own mind so that they understand you better and they understand themselves better and, you know, what was coming through like in that situation. But I also think in terms of the past, this person has questions of like how you view them and how you saw your relationship in the past. And did you feel betrayed by this person? You know, and this is a person who wants to give you the same clarity about them that they want from you. And they want to clear it up. They want to heal it. They want to hash it out because this person, I really feel like even if you did end up hurting each other here in this situation, they didn't mean to hurt you. That was never their original goal or intent. I feel like wires got crossed here. And that brings me to this next thing that this person would absolutely want to talk about. And it's this situation that I feel like was actually also here in your past. Because this to me looks like a group and a leader. And this person wants to acknowledge the presence of this Queen of Wands person, which I think is a woman, but, you know, take that how it resonates. This is somebody who has that Queen of Wands energy, but it's coming off negative. It's coming off very calculating, mean, controlling, brash. This could have been a person who wanted quick results about something, like especially if this was a work environment. It's like mush puppy mush, you know, something here like that. But this is a controlling, authoritarian type person. And then this is your energy here, Nine of Pentacles. Could have been younger than this person, or like they had some type of authority here in the situation. And the reason this person wants to bring this up is because they recognize that this person and their approach and their energy was, first of all, negative and inappropriate. I think they want to make sure that you know that they know this person acted out of pocket in some way. They could have felt like they had some kind of connection here with this person in the past. They could have thought that they were like a weird mix of nurturing and let's get stuff done, let's have quick results. But I do feel this person has felt betrayed by this person, this authority figure here as well over time. But look at this, what we've got here, right? We've got the Four of Wands and then we've got Queenie here that's holding up her own wand. So now we've got 5 wands. Well, the 5 of Wands is Saturn in Leo. So that is a restriction of self, a restriction of personality, a restriction of leadership energy. And that is exactly your wound. Life is so crazy, you guys. Like we can't make this stuff up. I mean, we literally do, right? We're our own creators, I feel. But yeah, so this person wants to acknowledge that this situation and this person's influence in particular, it exacerbated your wound and that it kind of shoved you back into this position of feeling scared and feeling like you needed to restrict yourself. They want to acknowledge that for you. They want to acknowledge that this person was authoritarian or problematic. And I do think that this person being like seeing in this other person a soulmate or somebody they thought they could get along with or that they admired, whether or not they could put words to this, you know, it reminds them of that father energy of what they feel like love is like. You know, I set these expectations. I expect you to shrink yourself and put on this like false mask, and then I give you my time and my attention and my appraisal. It's that same pattern, and you both have it. The thing is, you got away from this energy. You manifested your own dreams. You went independent. And this person kind of fell for this. And I don't need to tell this pile this, because it's like once you start doing this work, you start to realize like, look, you can move away from your toxic parent externally in the physical. But unless you start doing that healing work in yourself, you're going to start seeing that energy everywhere you go. You're going to draw the same energy to you because that's how you learned what love is, you know? And so the place to get to work is within. And this person's starting to realize that here now. That's part of what I mean when I mean this person wants their independence. It's like, I want to not get sucked into this energy that re-exacerbates my own wounding, even though I express differently. Because I feel like you protect, you get small, you try to minimize, and you have this like interesting duality where you try not to self-aggrandize, or you try not to make yourself big and beautiful and proud. But at the same time, all you really want is for somebody to see you and to see like your own uniqueness. So that's really what this person would say. Now, I was going to do this for pile number 1, where I was going to get some message cards, but pile number 1 was so long that I didn't end up doing that. But let's go ahead and grab some of this, especially because I really like this energy here from this person. But what else would pile number 2's person? You're on my mind the most. This person is spending a lot of time thinking about you and processing this situation. And I do feel that processing this situation, hopefully for both sides, I think that's their hope too, if they reach out to you and they try to bridge all of this and they try to bring clarity and understanding, that this is going to be something that's healing for both of you. But they are spending a lot of time thinking about you and processing what's gone on here. Don't forget about me. They don't want you to forget about them and move on. And I think part of it is like they see that you're doing better, like you're doing well. And they see that you are attached to your own purpose here as well. And they love that. They find that beautiful. This is not, I like the way this person is looking at you. Obviously, they have a lot of positive feelings, but I like that this person respects your strength and they are not intimidated by your strength. And they like this in you, you know, it's like they're like, yes, like I'm all about this for pile number 2, you know? Okay, what else they want to say? I'm emotionally unavailable. I feel you're unpredictable is at the bottom of the deck. That is that they don't know how you're going to respond to their energy coming back, because like I said, they notice these different traits in you and they don't know like where this comes from in your own character. I am emotionally unavailable. That's something that's really interesting. So I miss being around you. In terms of this person's emotional unavailability, like that makes sense to me in terms of like this shared wound that I'm picking up on here for you guys, where it's like you're not expressing yourself because you were taught not to. So this person kind of doesn't lead by their emotions is what I'm getting. It also, okay, so the other thing is, if this is, especially if this is a sexual connection and there are sexual feelings here, this person does feel bad about that, because one, or like somebody here is in a happy relationship. I kind of think that it's you, because this person could have been married to somebody that they thought was their 4 of Wands. They're happy forever. But this person actually, they're starting to realize, was a wolf in sheep's clothing. They're starting to realize that they minimize around this person, and that they that this person is a type of authority that's kind of taken away their identity. That's maybe contributed to a type of self-betrayal and an emotional unavailability here. That's another thing here too. So if there are sexual feelings, because for some of you who picked this pile, there are, it's like this person does feel guilty about that here. What else would this person say to pile number 2? This person does want to say a lot to you. I'm spying on you. I will be back. This person is watching you. Remember, I was getting that, like, you know, up front. They see a lot of value in you. They see maybe that you're creating your own abundance. And I'm hearing, though she be small, she is mighty. You know, that quote. This person is trying to figure out, first of all, they're busy, but they are, I think this person wants to come back. They really do want to like have this conversation and hash certain things out with you. I secretly admire you. I have a hard time communicating. I find you interesting. Yes. That I don't trust you, I just saw. And I think they're worried you don't trust them. But there is a certain, like, they don't want to open up and make themselves vulnerable, because they do see you as stronger now and they don't want you to betray them. And they do remember this release. And they think that they've processed this now to where they're like, no. They weren't like just being a type of way towards me. They weren't rebuffing me. Like they think they worked this out, but then it's like, well, what if I'm wrong, right? Because of all these trust issues and things that you guys have here. Wow, you are beautiful. I'm very attracted to you. There's a lot of good feelings here in this pile, honestly. I just feel like more wants to come out. I think this person has a lot that they want to say. This is a conversation that might start off like very simple, and then before you know it, you guys go to the cafe and you're having coffees, and 4 hours later you look up and you decide you need to go get a sandwich, so you go do that, but then 4 hours later, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that it's like once you get talking with this person in an honest and real way, then this is like going to really move here for a lot of you. You could have a friend for life between the two of you here. But there are hard feelings and there has been anger. Anything else? I am getting it. It's like, yeah, I just, there's a real feeling with this person of like, yeah, there's a lot. I just don't necessarily know what it is. Oh boy. That said, I never should have let you go, but I'm kind of not feeling that because I don't feel like this person let you go. It just didn't feel like it was supposed to come out. I think you released yourself. Sorry for the way I handled things. And that fell on the floor, which makes me think maybe this person is, like kind of shy about that or sheepish. Because I think they want to talk about all this interest and all this curiosity and what it means and everything, and they want to kind of get on the same page with you, and they want things to move forward, but they know that it's like, I'm sorry for my part of it. Like, I am sorry for the way that I handled things, and this person does want to own up to it, but it might still be a little bit hard here for this person. So yeah, that is what I have for you guys, pile number 2. This was a really interesting reading, and I think you and this person are very similar. You know, it's kind of like when you fight with a sibling. I'm not meaning to make this weird if this is a romantic connection, where it's like you're so similar and you like all the same toys and that causes you to fight and, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, but you are so similar here. And this person like really does see that in you. They see a long-term mate in you, whether that is like, good day, mate, you know, or like an actual mate. They really do. So that's so beautiful. Thank you guys for watching. If this resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye guys. Whoa, okay. Giggity, pile number 3. You guys have a lot of people that are interested in you romantically, sexually, and not just any people, like sexy people, hot people, intense people. I'm honestly like, is this what it feels like to be you? Because I mean, look at all these eyes that are on you and it's all like so intense. Whoa. So I do feel like this person will want to draw your attention to this, but they want to do it in some kind of mild way. And that's really telling because this is not a mild person at all. This is like, whew. Like I feel if I walked around a corner and I saw this, I would be walking right back around the same corner. This is like very intense. So this person has like a very intense focus on you. But like I was saying, this person, they would try to signal to you that they're the one for you. I'm hearing the Taylor Swift song from way back in the day when it's, hey, Steven. Hey, Steven, I know looks can be deceiving, but I know I saw a light in you. And it's like, of all the girls tossing rocks at your window, I'll be the one waiting there even when it's cold. Like this person knows that you have other people that are interested, other people who are great, and they're wanting to signal some type of love to you here because this person does feel like they love you. They have a lot of passionate energy towards you. You really do stand out here. Now, this person would want to tell you that things have really gone to shit for them recently. I'm just hearing drama, like drama fest. There has been a lot of upheaval, a lot of drama, maybe even some betrayal here by a lover, by somebody significant in their community to them. It's been hard. And there has been a really painful ending. And this person feels like they're trying to get back up on their feet. They are working really hard in order to be able to come to you here and in order to be able to put their best foot forward. I feel like right now this person is just trying to save face a little bit around you. I feel like they're not making a move or they're not making a step towards you. They're more just trying to keep you on their, like keep them on your mind or signal that they're sexy and they're strong and that they have something else that they could potentially offer you here that other people don't have, like another dimension to them. But I do feel like this person is trying to front a bit like they are the emperor, and this person is maybe working on their image. I feel like this person has like recently had a bout of low self-esteem. I actually think this person behind the scenes is doing pretty bad. I'm hearing that song by Shawn Mendes. It's like, someone help me. It feels like the walls are caving in. It isn't in my blood. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, like this person does kind of have addict energy. Like maybe it's not overall their personality, but maybe this person's going through some type of withdrawals or something. I am picturing somebody just like crying on the bathroom floor or crying whenever they're in the shower or something like that because of just how hard everything has been here recently. This is a person who does have strength and they have confidence. And this is a person who is very, very competitive. And I'm hearing this person say, like, I get what I want. Like, this is a person who's like, I'm almost like afraid of this energy, not in like I think they're going to hurt me or something, like physically or anything. It's like this energy is so forceful and it's so strong and it's so intense. Like having this person's focus and having this person's energy directed on you. It feels like very, very intense. So yeah, but this person is saying that they get whatever it is that they want and they want you, pile number 3, because they see you as very talented. I don't know what you do here. There's a talent you have, a skill. Some of you could be musicians because I get the sense that this person wants to put you up on a stage. They think that you are head and shoulders above other people, that you are above other people. But it's like this person is the one who has the success, even though they are going through a bit of a difficult time and they feel like they have to get back up on their feet. It's like this person has this elevated plane here and they've been watching you. That's like what they would say. They've been watching you online maybe, and they've been watching your skill set form. There's also a possibility that this is like some kind of like talent scout or something. Like maybe some of you are not asking about a love interest, it's a talent scout, but there's still like this sexual passion energy. Like you still do it for them. Pile number 3, like I'm hearing like that you still make their dick hard. And like for some of you, this person, like they just get it up for success and skill. And like I'm hearing love that money from Talladega Nights. Ow. Sorry. Yeah, like they really do feel like you are all that in a bag of chips, and they really do want to come towards you. And like I said, this is a person who feels like they get what they want. And I feel like maybe you're a bit unassuming here as to like this person's determination to get you. I feel like you have offers, or like that's what this person feels like. Like you have offers, and this person is competitive and they want to make like a competitive offer here towards you. They see you as having everything. This person also really, really likes the way that you talk, your conversation, your opinions on things. They really, really do. They're also seeing you as a new day for themselves, like a way to change this 10 of Swords energy into the 10 of Cups. Yeah, this person feels like you are the 10 of Cups and the Lovers. You are like their person. You're their happiness. You are their happily ever after, and this person wants to come towards you. But there is like third party energy here as well. Maybe even on both sides. Maybe this person feels like you are in a relationship with someone else already, but it's like not deterring them. And they also could be, there's somebody here that's always around this person. And it's like this person is a sidekick, but they get their sense of self or their identity or something from this other person. It could be like an assistant, but it's like a sidekick energy. And I feel like this person is always looking for a sidekick energy. And I'm just going to be real honest with you guys, pile number 3. You don't have sidekick energy. You have kind of the same energy that this person has, because I'm almost viewing this as like sun and like the sidekick, which is kind of like Mercury in astrology. And then you've got the sun and Mercury, like here in your own energy. You are very similar here to this person. And I do think that there's something within them that kind of can't help but reduce you in a type of way to fit into something that they're more familiar with. But at the same time, I'm hearing another Shawn Mendes song. It's like the Fallen All In You song, where it's like, baby, you are bringing out a different kind of me. There's no safety net that's underneath. So this person feels like they feel a different kind of way towards you. And I think what they're feeling is respect and admiration. I don't mean to laugh, but you know, this person, they move so fast and they're so competitive that I don't feel like this person stops for very long in order to evaluate themselves and to check in with themselves and to look within and something. But it is like they see you as being like the missing piece or something, able to unlock their heart here. They see you as like pure heart energy. This person sees you as having a sense of purpose, having a sense of direction, and being very sexy, very alluring. And I feel like I honestly am having trouble figuring out your dynamic here with this person and where you know them from, but I feel like this person has liked you for a while. And I don't know if it's because they've been watching you. Some of you, it's like you sing, or this is like a talent that you have that maybe this person, it's like this person is discovering you, you know, that's what it feels like. And they want to make you an offer and put you up on a stage. But I feel like they've liked you for a long time because I'm hearing another Taylor Swift song. This is just like a Taylor Swift song, Shawn Mendes kind of a reading, but where it's like, come feel it. Wait, come feel this feeling I've been feeling since I met you. Can't help it if there's no one else. I can't help myself. Yeah. And oh, that's Hey Steven again. Yeah, and it's like as we walked, we were talking, I didn't say half the things I wanted to. So there's a sense that this person, when you were around them, they didn't say half the things that they wanted to say to you. They were keeping a lot quiet. And yeah, and see why that is. Maybe this person was with someone else. And they were focused on their money. They were focused on their fortune. There is a sense of this person seeing you as just starting out, fresh-faced, something like that is what I'm hearing. I also feel like there was a moment where this person thought they saw something in you, like for them. Like maybe they thought that they made you blush, or that you were interested in them in some way. They weren't entirely sure. They didn't quite make a move then, but they thought that they were picking that up within you, that you were interested. But this person, they see your drive, they see your ambition, and this person is very driven to win. And I think they feel like the two of you are a dynamic duo together. And this feels like, I mean, there's so much passion, energy here. But it feels like maybe in a career space. I also get that this person, you know, even going back to that Shawn Mendes song of Fallen All In You, where it's like, I've been alone for a while, you know, and I think this person always has somebody around, to be honest with you, like sexually or romantically. Like they have just that kind of energy, but in their heart, they've always kind of felt alone. And they feel like maybe they don't have to feel so alone anymore. And on a career front, it's like, you know that most solar systems in space are dual, like they have two suns. And it's almost like this person is like, it's still kind of this sidekick energy, but you're orbiting around each other kind of a thing. So this person is very curious about, maybe that would feel really good to have that kind of a dynamic, you know? You're bringing out a different side of this person. I feel like this person is having thoughts that they have never had before about another person. They really do set you apart. They put you kind of up on a pedestal here. And the only thing is, I am wondering, like this person's going through a hard time. You know, it's affecting their emotions. They're feeling really low. They're feeling really down. And they're looking at you as some kind of key, or maybe as some kind of savior, or as some kind of fulfillment. And, you know, that's that savior or that rescuer, victim, persecutor kind of a thing. And I'm also just wondering what happens when this person gets back up on their feet, because they intend to and they will. This person's like, no, I get what I want. Like, and I believe them. I believe this person. And so it's like, well, when that happens, this is somebody who's kind of like chasing. They're always after the next high. They're always after the next chase. They're so competitive. They always kind of have to be on to the next thing. They definitely are very externally focused. And they're consumptive. There is something here where it's like chew you up, spit you out kind of an energy. And it's not that they're meaning to be terrible to people or anything like that necessarily. It's just that they're kind of selfish. You know, like it is this like consumptive type energy. This person feels empty on the inside to me. But that's what I wonder is like, well, when this person gets back up on their feet and they're feeling better about themselves, then how do they think about you, you know? If you do make some kind of a love connection and you know, trust this person, then what happens? You know, then what happens? And who's this? You know, who is this person? Is this a fling? Is this an assistant? Is this both? Like, what is this? You know? And I don't know. That's kind of what I'm seeing here in regards to this person's energy. It's really intimidating. Maybe you felt intimidated by this person and their crew before, because I do feel like this person has people around them. The feeling that I get, like looking at these people, this is what I think it must feel like to audition on American Idol. Like when you walk into the room and you've got the 3 judges and they're all like star powered and confident and staring at you. Like That's how that's what it feels like to kind of be around this person. So maybe you felt shy, or maybe that's the blush or something that they felt on your face, or that they thought they saw on your face was, it's like, this is like a lot here. I also think that there's people around this person that also like you, or they find value in you. They want to come after you. That's why I'm wondering if this is some kind of like talent scout thing, because it's like these people want to consume you. They want to like, yeah, they're like, no, I want pile number 3. Like that's what it feels like, but it's so intense. Like it's so intense. Um yeah. So they think that you are very good here at whatever it is that you do, that you've got purpose. Your selfhood is strong. You're on fire. I'm hearing This Girl Is on Fire by Alicia Keys. And there's a lot of solar plexus energy here. And these people want in on it. Maybe this is like a poly situation where there's an established relationship, an established group here, and they want you in on it. That's another possibility. Um, Yeah. And these people do have very distinct personalities. And if you've met these people, you definitely remember them. They leave an impression. But you do like have a lot of people after you. You must be like really attractive and talented. Very talented. And like it's like you're ready made. Like you're ready to take off here. Um to take the world by storm. This really does feel like somebody is being discovered. That's what it feels like to me. So, yeah. Um, this person is trying to hold back from being impulsive towards you. This person has a very impulsive kind of a personality, very impulsive kind of character. They don't want to be the person that they were in the past. I will give this person that. Like, I feel like this person could have been brash. Maybe they want to jump into something sexual, and this person's not doing that. They're intentionally holding themselves back, and they're trying. I do actually think this person is trying to be like respectable, or they're trying to give that image of like, I'm respectable, or something here. And it's not that they're not. This person's definitely like high powered here in some way. But yeah, they're trying to hold themselves back because they do feel like something here needs to change. And I think that it's something here needs to change in terms of their something that they're building, their career space, maybe something that has to do with their business. They need to make some kind of an adjustment here. And now I'm getting that scene from the birdcage. You know how obviously the guy, like his parents are gay, like Robin Williams and I can't think of that other actor's name, but how they have to change their whole house before Ally McBeal. Wow, I'm so bad at these names right now. Calista Flockhart, that's her real name. Before, his fiance comes over with her parents who are very traditional, in order to look around. And it's like this person and their setup and everything. It's like the gay couple that owns the drag club downstairs, and everything around them is very celebratory of that culture. But they're getting this impression of you that if you walked in there, that you wouldn't be comfortable, or I don't know, they're trying to like suit their environment towards you. They feel like they need to make some kind of changes. And maybe this is like within themselves, because I get the sense that this person is like, maybe trying to wear like a button up and trying to be what it is that you want them to be. And I think they like the idea of themselves as this right now. They feel like maybe that's what's been missing or something, but it just feels a bit, dare I say, desperate? Like, not desperate. Like, this person has options, I think, in their love life. And maybe you were holding out for this person in the past too, but it's almost like that ship has sailed for you, and now this all of a sudden this person has come around. That could be a possibility here. But yeah, it's like this person is desperate to fix this feeling that they have within themselves of being broken, of feeling hurt, of feeling like they're scrambling and that they're trying to feel on their feet again. And they see you as like a life raft that they can latch onto, or a pill that they can swallow. And I'm hearing Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. There's a lot of music that's coming out here, and I think this person is listening to a lot of music. A lot of love songs maybe about you, a lot of fiery songs, a lot of sad songs. I'm hearing songs to drown your sorrows too. But yeah, this person thinks you're great. They really do. Like, this is a high compliment, I think, coming from this person. And they're determined to get you. Like, I'm hearing, I'm coming for you. Like, I'm going to get you. And this person, they just think you're great. They think that you're great, and that you're their 10 of cups, and you're their happiness, and that you can help them, overcome this, like, impulsivity, or this, like, I'm just picturing some kind of itchy and, like, impulsive, and, you know, that kind of an energy. And but again, the way they're approaching it, it's like very consumptive. Yeah. So they find you irresistible. You do have Freya irresistibility down here at the bottom. They're very, very much attracted to you. They think a lot of people are attracted to you. I think a lot of people are attracted to you. I might be attracted to you after this. I don't really know. I'm kidding. But yeah, and then they also look at you with compassion here. In some way, I think this person is they have a lot of nice things, I think. This person appreciates nice things. They appreciate beauty, and they see beauty in you. So, okay, let's see here. What does this person want to say? I am who I am. I kind of get the sense that this person wouldn't like how I'm describing them. I've been up all night thinking about you. Like listening to music, you know, smoking a blunt, daydreaming. Like, that's this person's energy, honestly. I think you are very talented. I knew it. I feel connected to you. Yeah, I mean, it's like there's good feelings coming from this person. They're just their energy is very strong, very potent, very intense. And I feel like their eye contact might be too. I think you are out of my league. I need to feel in control. Yeah, but it's like, at the current time, I think they think you're out of their league. I want to be more than friends. Yeah, I mean, this person, they're all for you. I am who I am. I hope you're not with someone else. Yeah. I don't think this is a bad person. I just, their energy is like very intimidating. Your kindness has changed my life. It's so nice. Not now. Yeah, it's just like not the right time, because I think this person got knocked down. I've never met anyone like you before. Yeah, so this person has gotten knocked down, and this is like a very human thing, you know, like we all I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. This person's a fighter. They are a fighter. They are resilient. They get knocked down, and they get right up again. You are a great friend. If you let me, I'll take care of you. This person, like, really, they think very highly of you. They think that you would be good together. I'm feeling overwhelmed. And I'm afraid to get close to people. Yeah. I kind of get that they think you would understand that. Let's see, from this other deck. You fuel my creativity. You hurt my feelings was at the bottom of the deck. Hold on. I miss being around you. Wow, you are beautiful. This person strikes me as a type where it's like if you don't reciprocate their feelings in the way that they want you to, then they take that very personally. And they would feel very hurt by that, like very injured. I'm very attracted to you. I think you're amazing. I admire how hard you work. I want to be like you. Wow, you are beautiful. I'm scared of commitment and I find you interesting. I'm having wild thoughts about you. Yeah, I just feel like this person is really caught up in their mind, like in a whirlwind thought, like of thoughts and fantasies about you, that kind of thing. This feels like a crush, like a very intense crush. It's like this person found you. Maybe they found you online, like this could be from online dating, but I more feel like this is a scout energy where they're peeping on your skill. They're like on your music page or on your art page or something, because there's a feeling of like them wanting to put you on a stage. This is the Cupid arrows of love. They want to send you a message. Yeah, this is like, it's just very intense. I don't know. It's very intense. I feel like you've got a lot of people's eyes on you in this way here. Just, I feel like I got a taste of what it feels like to be you, pile number 3, and it was a lot. So anyways, yeah, that's what this person would want to say to you is they really like you. They like your conversation. They like your skill. They feel like you're the total package. You're everything. They feel like you're their perfect person, you know? And it's all this like flattery. It's like they're certain about you. I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's almost like they're putting a lot on you. Like in terms of their dreams. That's the feeling that I'm getting. Like they think you're going to turn things around for them, and I don't know. Something here like that. So they are afraid of getting their heart broken, this person though. That's why they lead with this kind of salesman-y energy, a lot of high energy. That's what it is. Like, yeah, it's like a lot of high energy from this person. Come on, let me take you out. Like, let me show you a good time. Let me la 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 la. Like, you know, very confident, but they are like, they're afraid of intimacy. They're scared they're going to get their heart broken, but they think you could get in. And I think this person does trust you, and you bring out a different version of them. So I'm going to leave that there for you guys, pile number 3. I don't know what to make of this. This person has very strong energy, very intense energy. And I do think that they're a competitive person. Just in their life, in their career, this is like a go-getter kind of an energy. So that's what I have for you guys, pile number 3. If that resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys.